And speaking of which, with nearly 6 million Americans looking for work, standing out to potential employers is crucial. Recent data suggests the average job seeker spends about 3 to 6 months trying to secure employment.
Alexa Lorenzo is putting your family first with the key skills hiring managers are looking for.
You've sent resume after resume after resume. Gone on interview after interview after interview. Yet the job offer remains elusive.
So you have the hard skill sets that obviously the skills that you go to school for and everything else, but those other needs of communication, a lot of that has been lost recently.
Communication skills that are used in office settings are in high demand.
Having strong communication skills can set yourself apart from all of the other candidates that are looking for work.
Hiring managers are also looking for soft skills like project management, conflict mitigation, public speaking, and customer service.
There's a lot of opportunities available now that weren't available in the past.
Websites like Coursera, edX, and even LinkedIn Learning have free audit options or affordable individual courses that can lead to valuable micro-credentials. Organizations like the National Education Association even offer free micro-credentials to members and low-cost options for non-members, often focusing on professional growth. Now, many Gen Z wonder, do you still need a 4-year degree? Yes.
It's more of the dedication to have a goal and to get through that whole 4-year career.
The Bureau of Labor Statistics reports college grads make, on average, almost $600 more per week. But times are changing, and skilled laborers are beginning to close that gap. Alexa Lorenzo, WGEM News.